Yeah, Monday the 18th, I was working on some guttering for a friend and fell backward off a step ladder. It was only 1500 off the floor, off the ground, so 1.5 metres. Just lost my balance, that's all I can say. I'm very confident on ladders and steps. Never happened before. I've been on ladders 45 years. Just fell backwards, straight back on my back. Hit the ground pretty hard. And yeah, I knew I was in trouble from day one. I thought I'd done some damage. I was on the whistle in the ambulance. The ambulance didn't really want any other pain relief until I really found out what damage I'd done, whether it was just bruising or whether it was something more serious. Got into the accident emergency and eventually I was put on fentanyl. The x-rays showed 11 broken ribs, a couple of, fractured ribs, a couple of fractured vertebrae. So it was suggested I perhaps have a look at the block system. I didn't like the idea of an incision. I thought, perhaps I was overthinking it, but I thought maybe if they're opening you up and putting something into your body to relieve pain, seemed to be a bit much when I can just do it with like fentanyl or some pain relief like that. So yeah, tried the fentanyl for a couple of days. Found it really from the waist up, felt nauseous, unclear in the head, uneasy. It did take the pain away, like it was still there, but it wasn't a big problem. But yeah, it was more the nauseous stuff. I thought, well, I've really got to think of something else. And then we went on to the blocks, which from then on, all the nauseousness and the unclear head sort of all disappeared. It sort of took the pain away pretty well straight away. You knew it was there, but it wasn't a big problem. From that point on, really, I was lying in my bed, and I was probably, my pain scores were 1 to a half. Obviously, when you move around a bit, you feel it, but 2s, maybe 3s at that. And now I've had the blocks in for 3 days, maybe 4 days. And I've had rib injuries before playing football back in the 80s, and I'll never forget it. It was probably the worst month of my life. I was in a hell of a lot of pain. I don't know what medications we were using back then, but if any. But yeah, I knew it was going to be a lot of long haul and a lot of pain along the way. But yeah, look, it's been pretty good, really, considering. Yeah, I can walk around. I've really, from day one, I've been up and about walking. RAH is a big hospital. I've counted 305 steps from the spinal unit down to the other end of the hospital, and I'm doing that 5 times a day now. And I've got quite a bit of pace about me with it. So, it's not restricting. Once I'm on my feet, it's not restricting me at all. I can get out of bed, walk around, pretty well do whatever I need to do. So yeah, it's made life a lot easier for me, that's for sure. The nurses top the blocks up every 3 hours, and they go 3 hours on one side, and then alternate 3 hours the other side. So, and it sort of works well. I don't feel it wearing off. It seems to last the 3 hours and beyond. So you don't really find that you're in any discomfort while you're on the blocks. It's a different sort of relief altogether, really. The blocks, yeah, it's like it's there, but it's not. There's no pain with the fentanyl. It's sort of, you just don't feel right, really, from the waist up, right through to the head. You just feel, yeah, not quite with it. Bit unbalanced, maybe, a bit disorientated. Whether that's common, I'm not sure, but it was certainly the case with me. Certainly with the blocks, it was a lot easier to breathe. Take deep breaths, and the coughing exercises as such, it was a lot more comfortable than the fentanyl. Whether that was because I was still in the earlier stages with the fentanyl of my recovery, I'm not real sure, but definitely no problems breathing and coughing with the blocks.
So we can just see here, there's the right rectospinal catheter and the left rectospinal catheters, because Timothy is quite mobile. What we sometimes see is that the dressing lifts a little bit, and normally we would reinforce it. So this one has been reinforced with Hypofix. Commonly we would use just Tegaderm to reinforce the dressing, because we also find that the Hypofix rolls up. So once we're done here, we may just give that another sticking down with Tegaderm over the top bit here. And we'll just turn you around, Tim,
Yep.
and then let's all just see how the catheters go to the front. So this is now the left hand and the left catheter marked as the left catheter over the left shoulder. So this is a filter and the injection port and the connector. And we would have the same on Tim's right hand side. And so we have the right catheter here labeled right catheter with the filter and the connector, and this is where the nurses then can inject the local anesthetic. So we're going to put something in here at 12 o'clock, put something in here at 3 o'clock, go back to the right hand side at 6 o'clock. So every catheter gets injected every 6 hours, and every 3 hours is one injection.